Agricultural stock tourism, and there's actually AMT Motorcycles are doing something different. They're trying to showcase Kenya from a different angle, because most of the times you've realized with tourists, when they come, they get the vans and they sit in the vans and they're transported in the vans from where they landed into the hotel, and they keep checking their windows. AMT Motorcycles, they're saying that we can do better. Now, you could be on a motorcycle while touring Kenya. And right now I'm joined by Terry Akile Mujahid, who is the CEO of AMT Motorcycles. Welcome to the show, Terry. Quite interesting, motorcycles, because Kenyans, we use a lot of motorcycles, but it is border. Quick movement from point A to point B. Right. But you are saying you can come and tour this country on a motorcycle. What is the motivation behind that?
Right. So first and foremost, Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak for all the Muslims out there. I'm also fasting. But what came behind that idea is I came to Africa in October 2022. So it was the very first time I came to Africa. I used to do West African drum and dance. But when I came, I wanted to have a vacation, but also feel the need to invest in Kenya. So I was trying to figure out different ways and opportunities to do that. And I actually met my now director, who was an avid motorcycle rider. He said, why not motorcycles? And I said, hey, you know what? That is true. And so when I came back, I was able to establish the company. I seen that Kibo was actually a brand that I wanted to use. And they have been amazing so far. Our customers love them. A lot of expats, they actually use Kibos. It's just been an amazing experience so far, and people just love the opportunity, especially my customers, when they have the opportunity to ride in
Definitely.
Kenya.
It's quite interesting because motorcycles, you know, I use a lot of motorcycles moving from one point A to point B.
Right.
They're quite interesting, quite freeing. And majority of the people who demand your services, are they people who are cyclists, motorcyclists, from where they're coming from, especially if they're coming from outside Kenya? Or we also have the curious type, I can use a motorcycle instead of a van. What kind of clientele are we seeing here?
Exactly. I've seen a vast diversity of different clients. We had an individual who traveled from Uganda to Mombasa to ride our motorcycles. We had a local. We actually have quite a few locals who actually rent quite often, and they actually even do some videography for us. We actually seen a lot of Germans rent our motorcycles. It was actually one German individual who seen a Kibo while in Mombasa, and he stopped the individual. He says, hey, stop. The individual referred him to Kibo, and Kibo in Mombasa referred him to us, and he had a great experience. And so, same again, we had this past Thursday, 3 German individuals had left our facility. They rented the bike for 14 days, and that came from a referral. Okay. And what's good about what we do, we try to help the community out through Ujima group economics by giving a monetary gain as through commission. So we gave that individual about 8,000 Kenya shillings to actually help us out. But a lot of individuals I see just don't have the opportunity to ride a motorcycle because there's not a lot of companies like us. And once they find out about us, they're just so happy. See our Google reviews, see our comments. A lot of people would like to ride motorcycles in Kenya. It's so free, especially in Nairobi. The Nairobi traffic is so hectic. You can get through very easily. A 20-minute drive can be possibly a 10 to 7-minute drive to your destination.
Yeah, that's quite incredible. You know, that issue that you've mentioned, you verify the documents. Somebody who's not a cyclist, a motorcyclist, and they want to have this experience, because you've said you can rent out a motorcycle and bring it after a number of days. But if I want somebody to accompany me, for example, to the Mara, if I want to ride from Mombasa all the way to the Mara, is there provision for it? Because it seems like an epic experience.
Definitely. So AMT Motorcycle Adventures, we have both guided and self-guided tours. You can also have a pillion, so that means you can have a passenger with you on those guided tours if you want to. So yes, we actually have 4 different tour packages currently. and we're going to be expanding more. So hopefully go to Hell's Gate, Navasha, go to Kisumu and different things, so we can just have a big experience for the individuals who come and ride through us. We hopefully also, we're big on community service and giving back to the community. So hopefully as we go to these different villages, we can have donation kind of goodie bags to each different spot we go to. Currently, AMT Motorcycles does scholarships to individuals. We do it once every 3 to 6 months currently, but we had our first scholarship that was at Pirates Beach, because we had a beach game and we had a scholarship as well. To go back to what you said, for an individual who wants to go on a guided tour, definitely, it's definitely a good experience, because, how do I say, only thing you need to actually start up the process is you need your Kenyan ID. You have to have your passport and international driver's license. We do a handover certificate, make sure we check the bike out to make sure it's all nice. And when you bring it back, you get that deposit back if everything is good. Customers rant and rave how quick the process is. You can come to our offices in Nairobi and Mombasa, at the PJ Plaza, or a newly acquired office at Westland at the Procmura building.
All right. So that's cool, actually. Come to think of it, because I'm thinking, especially since you're American, raised in America, and investing in Kenya and now motorcycles. From your experience, how is the cycling experience? Because I'm thinking like a tourist. I'm coming to visit Kenya, and since I use a motorcycle back home, I like to cycle through Kenya. Are there challenges that you'll have to face, and do you have sort of suggestions what you can do about some of these challenges?
Yes. So coming to Kenya, it is different. You drive on the left side. I'm from America. We drive on the right side. So I gotta make sure my brain functioning is correct, so I don't drive on the opposite side of the road. But the main thing is really keeping good with your equipment and safety. Safety is very important. When I first came out to Kenya, I actually rode a motorcycle and I didn't have the proper equipment, and I slipped in a small puddle. And the bike was okay, but you know, I had a little a rash on my my arm, and so every time I come to Kenya, I always make sure I'm fully geared up. You see, I have my jacket. It has the elbow pads, the shoulder pads, the back pads. I have my gloves. We have our knee and shin guards, and we got our helmet here. And it's really good about being protected. So if you come out here and ride, there's a lot of different obstacles that you might have to go through. But if you're an avid motorcycle rider, it's possibly, you know, possibly a 10 out of 10 type of experience, because it's just crazy. It's different from the States. It's like, you know, at stoplights, you know, you stop and you go. For motorboaters, it's like, I don't know how it works. I just basically follow along to how the other motorcyclists ride. But it's just stay protected. Make sure you wear the proper gear. Watch out for different cars. Have your turning signals on, and then check out our YouTube video, because I have my GoPro right here. I took a lot of different videos of how to ride in Kenya, so that individuals can know the different feel of what they might expect in Kenya.
Definitely. Now the larger picture, especially in the country, you're talking about recovery for the tourism sector. When COVID hit, actually tourism was, if not the most, one of the most impacted sectors. Yeah, people are not traveling essentially. So that's where we saw a boom of local tourism. And right now we are trying to head back to the pre-pandemic levels of tourism. Looking at this particular venture and this kind of business where you're giving, you know, visitors a different experience, what do you think you're contributing to the larger conversation about recovering tourism sector in Kenya?
Definitely. I think this is a unique experience to ride a motorcycle in Kenya. I think we can bring a lot of different individuals, how do I say, that's not likely to come just for a regular safari. But if they know that they're avid motorcycle riders and they want to, how do I say, ride in Kenya, it'll bring a lot of that particular groups over here. I know a lot of Americans. I actually went to Cycle Gear actually in America when I was buying gear for the equipment so I can bring back to Africa for my company. And they said, hey man, you have a great idea. A lot of dentists, lawyers, A lot of like high profile individuals like to ride motorcycles. They like to travel and they have the money. And I said, hey, we really want your poster to have in our shop so we can promote your business. And I said, wow, that's cool. Because it's like at the end of the day, I know I like to ride and I know other people that have the same mentality as me like to ride as well. And so I really just hope to bring a different experience to Kenya through riding a motorcycle.
Yes.
And also just bring the best service excellence and business standards. So we give them the great customer service so that we get returning customers. Make sure we tell the individuals how to maneuver in Kenya, because there's certain obstacles that may be a challenge, but because when I came, I didn't live a tourist life. I actually stayed in Airbnbs and I was actually kind of ingrained in the Kenyan society. Some Kenyans actually thought I was from Kenya too before I speak.
Yeah.
But hopefully I just wanted to bring an enjoyable experience through riding a motorcycle in Kenya so we can bring more tourists from different walks of life.
Definitely. And talking about investment, how is it? Because right now we're talking about boosting foreign direct investment. So essentially making Kenya a business, destination.
Yes.
So more Americans can think, oh, I can come and set up my business here in Kenya. So create jobs, create value into the business. How is that experience for you?
I'm glad you asked, because I couldn't have created this company without having professional Kenyans make this happen. My first interaction was with East African Business Consultants. They're a good firm to help you create a business. They're able to make sure everything was right with the KRA, make sure all the different business related tasks that I needed to get done was corrected. That's why I had my director go to, because you need a Kenyan if you're a foreigner to actually create a business. And so I used him as a resource. And then they also referred me to Rienye, Company and Advocates, who was my lawyer, who actually created a documents for the hiring agreements and our company employee agreements. Then I made an individual from Conatech, who was my website developer, a great guy. He's made my website just amazing. And a lot of people from America say, oh, wow, it's like, that's a great website. And it's like, yeah, they got a lot of professional individuals in Kenya that can do what they need. Same with our logos. We currently use Print Concierge in Mombasa. They're a great company. They've been miraculous. And so with that, hopefully I want to make another channel just to tell people my experience,
yes,
so that they can invest in Kenya, because Kenya has so much untapped potential. I was talking to an individual on Jambo Jet, and he was from the UK doing a golf match with some of his friends. He said, man, Kenya is going to be the next thing in about 20 years, even sooner, because he has so much untapped potential. And so I definitely want to get those individuals who have those different skills that can basically be utilized for my business, and hopefully another business if I choose to create while I'm in Kenya.
Definitely. And briefly, in less than a minute, even as I get hold of this, I really like this one. It looks macho. You show up with this at the office, people take you seriously.
Yeah.
Ladies stand, hey, who's that gentleman? He looks focused. Anyway, as we finish up, what are the goals? What are you hoping to achieve in the next quarter? I know in the next few months.
Also, what I hope to achieve is just become a reputable company. I want to be loved by the locals first. So I want to engage the locals with our business as much as possible. And we do that, like I said, through scholarships and through just, community interaction.
Yes.
Because a lot of our business came through referrals. And so with that, I just want to thank Kenyans because y'all been so good to me. And I really appreciate you all. Because I wouldn't have made this company without you all.
Yes.
I'm just, I almost get teary-eyed a little bit from it. But to go back to the quarters, I just hope to just get more clientele, get promoted more, just let people know what I'm doing.
Okay.
Because as my company grows, I'm able to just do more things for the company and also for the community.
Okay, lovely. Thank you very much, Terry, for that insight. And sometimes, I don't know, some of us have bigger heads, so it's very hard to fix it here. But that was our talk right here in business today. Of course, diversifying tourism sector. And we take a short break. We'll return with more.